Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my weekly What I've Been Warming, and I'm actually filming this on Wednesday because I did a bunch of videos yesterday and kind of ran out of time and energy and storage space and all that to do this one at the same time. So I'm sorry it's a little bit late, but better late than never, right? So I do have the Mardi Gras collection first and some thoughts on the January scent of the month, and then we'll get into all the regular things that I was doing. And I was definitely feeling spicy and cozy as sort of an aftermath of Christmas effect. But let's start out with this Mardi Gras collection. I liked 4 out of the 5 very, very much. I'm considering clubbing a couple of them. One for sure, probably 2. And it was a really good collection. I would encourage you to try it. There's a lot of variety here, and it's definitely appropriate for this time of the year. So my favorite, in the sense that it's different than what I usually like, is going to be Confetti Showers. This is really happy. I put it in my melting basket for January. I bought 2 sets of this, so one of these I think is floating around with a couple of cubes missing from when I tested it out a little while ago. This is so pretty. If you liked Pineapple Rose from last January, this doesn't have that little weird rose note, but it's got all that fruity, light, bright bubbliness that you would want this time of the year. It's a very good performer. It's a very happy scent. It's got citrus, and it has peach, and it has a bubbly, happy effervescence that really made me quite pleased. And it's like a good medium. It could even be a medium strong. Now the next one is probably the most solid and good throwing bakery that we've had in a while, and that's going to be your king cake. And I did a bit of a wax war specifically today, and I'll tell you all the different things I was melting that I put in this morning before I'm filming, because it's almost lunchtime now. I did a wax war between the king cake and the almond croissant that is the gold standard for me of a good, solid, middle-of-the-road bakery scent from Scentsy. The almond croissant has a little bit more depth, and it's got that slightly perfumey almond. It's a little bit more nuanced, but I'll tell you what, if you just want like a straight up bakery scent, this king cake is fantastic. It is solid. It's unapologetically golden brown and delicious. It's very buttery. It's very like pastry. I don't want to say that it's really like a sweet cake. Our caramel praline cake that we had over Christmas was fluffier, and it had more layers of sweetness than the caramel. But this would probably mix with a lot of things. I think I might get just the barest hint of a cinnamon here. I'm not sure. There's a little bit more cinnamon in the almond croissant. There's a lot of buttery pastry, though. It's beautiful. Really robust, really good. It's just not got a ton of layers in the notes, but you want something that's going to smack you in the face that's a good bakery blender, or it's a good bakery by itself. This is the one to put in your club. I'm really happy with it. Okay, the next one, which is the most exotic, and I loved it, is Midnight Masquerade, because this had smoked vanilla, it had beignets, and lily. Talk about a weird combo. It's gorgeous. And the only other thing that I could compare it to, and it does not smell like it, but the complexity and the weird combination that you got in Southern Evening, this has its own version of weird and complex. The only other bar that also has these layers of complexity, although again, it's a different scent with different notes, might be Black Forest Pine. This has, because of the, I don't know, just like, it doesn't fight, but just the difference in the notes. We have bakery, we have smoked vanilla, and we have lily. This is really good. Now, it doesn't throw super far for me, and it is the type of scent where I would be happy to put it out in a main space. I'd be happy to put this in maybe a powder room. I don't know that this would be good in a kitchen, and I'm not sure about really large spaces where everybody's going to like it. But I think this is a very creative and unusual scent that is worth saving for the future. So Confetti Showers, Midnight Masquerade, I do really like. Now, y'all know I'm picky with my mint. Creme de menthe did pass the test for me. I like it. It's sweet. It does have probably almost a white chocolate tone. I can't say that I came up with that on my own. I heard Patricia Gates say that. I want to credit that to her. But I do get that. It's almost like you took your mint leaves and you dipped them in white chocolate, and then you're eating that. although you're smelling it, but it makes it soft. It makes it pretty. There's definitely sugar in here. There's a creamy quality to the mint, and I know my friend Robin really didn't like this. It was very offensive to her nose. I didn't get that at all. I really liked this, and maybe that's just because I'm the one that doesn't usually do mint. So am I going to club it? Probably not, but I might order another one. So I have this bar where I used the first 2 cubes to test it out. And then I have another one. And like I said, I might get one more. I really liked that. Then the only one that I truly, strongly disliked is going to be Street Parade. I don't like this. There's pineapple, and then there are other, to me, conflicting notes that almost make it smell grapey and harsh. I don't like this one. I just do not. And I wanted to take it out of the warmer almost immediately. Do I think that I could mix this with a strong pineapple or maybe some other strong summer fruit scent and get through it? Yes. What sort of goodies do we have there? But it isn't appealing to me. So if you really, really like a good, strong mixed fruit scent that tends to have almost like to me it was kind of a bitter, grapey quality. And I don't think that was even supposed to be in here. Yeah, just not my thing. If there had been only the pineapple and a hint of the other notes, I love pineapple. It's one of my actual favorite summer fruit scents, but this one, not for me. So 4 out of 5 isn't bad, and a lot of people are giving Street Parade better reviews than me, so there's all that. Excuse me. Let's move on to the scent of the month for January, which is going to be Candy Orchard. This is so happy, you guys. It's sweet. It's very sweet. It's like vanilla and sugar and raspberries, and it will definitely give you your happy candy fix, and it's a mood lifter if you like those just sweet, syrupy scents, and it's good. It's not super complex. I don't know exactly how long it's going to go because I've only tested out the 2 cubes for a shorter period of time, but it's happy, and I think that it is really good, especially if you already have pink sugarberry mint, if you've got pink haze, if you have sugar, if you have any of that type of smell, and you wanted to add this, if you had maybe the past, I think there was a raspberry lollipop, if you've got the strawberry sweetie that's in Bring Back My Bar, that should play well with any of those. And I also think it would be good with, if you wanted to draw out more of the vanilla, you could do it with vanilla bean buttercream, you could do it with simply vanilla. There are lots of options, and it's super happy. So now we're going to get into all the things that are just in my stash that I've been enjoying. So at the end of last week, I was wrapping up Bring Back My Bar reviews and Christmas scents. And I kind of cleaned out all my warmers, breathed a sigh of relief, and then thought, okay, what do I have left where I'm going into New Year's, but I still just want a scent that smells happy and Christmassy. So I didn't quite finish it, but I tried to clean out Vanilla Balsam and the Perfect Holiday from Teddy Bees. And instead of doing my Teddy Bees at the end, because a lot of these I did pairings of Scentsy and Teddy Bees, I'm just going to tell you what I did each day. But for this one, I think it was an evening. I just cleaned out all my warmers, and I enjoyed this Vanilla Balsam and the Perfect Holiday, which is just quintessential Christmas. That's what it smells like, but it's something that is pleasant enough that I will probably warm this one more time to get rid of the rest of this tub, just so that I don't have like less than a quarter of a tub kicking around in my stash until next year. And of course, if she doesn't do something similar to this, I will miss this next Christmas. It was really, really nice. But you're just talking about a really good balsam balanced by what's basically BBW's Perfect Holiday, which has, let's see what she says is in here. We've got the pine, the cinnamon sugar, toasted marshmallows, balsam fir, frosted vanilla, snow-capped pine needles. And I guess it's the cinnamon sugar and the marshmallows that really mellows out the balsam, and that is why I like it so much. So this was a good sort of goodbye to Christmas scent. It was really nice. Then the next day, I wanted to start with something more bakery, and pretty much what's here, almost all of it, has warmth to it, because I just wanted the cuddle factor after Christmas. Not necessarily Christmas, but still that warm, cozy fireside feeling. So not the bar, but just the feeling of being by a cozy fireside, because that's my favorite thing in life as far as just a creature comfort. I'm sure everyone has something that's your thing. Some people love the beach, some people love the woods, and I mean, I like all of those, but if you want to put me in my happy place, you put me next to a fire with a cup of tea and a cuddly blanket and something beautiful to read, that's my happy place. So Frosted Cinnamon Roll by Scentsy, which you've been hearing me talk about this for forever and forever, is safely in my club. I would love to see this come into the catalog next fall. You never know. I did that, which is just It's a cinnamon roll, yes, but it's also just a really good middle-of-the-road bakery scent. And it's got lots of vanilla. It has a good amount of a carameliness, and then it's got a subtle cinnamon roll. Sticky cinnamon bun, which is also by Scentsy, that's like a cinnamon whacking you over the head with some vanilla frosting to soften it. This is so nice. And I wanted to pair this with something that I got in the RTS from Teddy Bees. Now, if I had known how much I loved this, I would have ordered this in the pre-order and gotten more in the RTS, but you can only order so much, especially when you've never smelled it, right? Fall into Christmas. Oh my goodness gracious, where has this been all my life? This smell is the vanilla pumpkin mixed with, which eggnog is it? Mixed with buttered rum eggnog, and I love this. It doesn't last the whole day, I will say that. But oh my goodness, while this is going, it is a happiness, and you mix that alternate warmers across the cinnamon roll, which will go for 2 days. I was just in hog heaven. So this is with the buttery sugar cookies and I don't know, I love the vanilla pumpkin oil. There's something about that anything that I've gotten from her that has that, I'm all over it. And then the buttered rum eggnog. So these two, very, very, very happy girl I was, and that was a great day. Another day, I wanted to try Morning Cup of Christmas again. This one, I'll use the rest of it next year. I love the scent, but it just is not throwing worth beans in my home. Maybe this is one that truly needs to cure for a year. Because a lot of my other Teddy Bees, I've been doing fine as far as trying it, and it throws great. This one's not. So this is beautiful with vanilla chai, cranberry chutney, apple marmalade, and a hint of fresh pine. Mostly I get sort of a cranberry apple smell. And it's beautiful, but I really can't detect it much in my home, even in my bedroom. So I paired that with, and man, I should have clubbed this last year, cranberry orange cider. This is my last bar, you guys. This is so good. My director loves this. Maybe I'll beg a bar off of her at some point. This, after a year, is spectacular. And it's just so hard to judge what you're going to like down the road from any company after it sits for a while. This has a nice orange marmalade and a cranberry cider chutney kind of a smell. It's fabulous. And those two together made just the most calming, beautiful wintry day in the house. So good. So another thing that I was doing, because I was testing out 2 interesting scents from Teddy Bees. I really like smoked ginger snaps, and I like sugar spice and fireside. But I will tell you that both of these, after I melted them for a full day in my house, and I was doing clove and cinnamon in the back room and a couple other kind of far away places in the house, all on the same day. I really enjoyed it in the morning, but by the time I got home, there was something about the combination of all of them that smelled like banana bread. And that's not what I was going for. So the smoked ginger snaps is warm gingerbread spice, cardamom, charred wood, roasted pumpkin, and Tahitian vanilla. The Tahitian vanilla is one of my favorite things about this. It's gorgeous. I really like this scent. So I was thinking, do I need more? Well, there's still a little bit of stuff on her website before she probably cleans it all out to think about January. Yes and no. I think this is enough. I really like this, but I don't think I like it enough to go back and get a loaf of it, which is probably all I can get at this point. And then we had the sugar spice and fireside. This one's more oatmeal cookies and snickerdoodles, and is supposed to have a wood fire oven. Now, I don't like this one quite as much as I like the smoked ginger snaps, but I still like it. But this is a little bit weird to me. I definitely get the snickerdoodle, and I get some of the oatmeal, and I'm not sure if I like both of those together as much as I thought I would. I will enjoy it. It's a great cozy by the fireside in the middle of the winter smell. I'm not complaining, but it's one of those where, do I really need more? Probably not. And then to amp up the spice factor, I did a whole bar, kind of like I said, floor to room, probably a little bit in my bedroom, and maybe in the basement on the periphery around these other 2 scents of good old clove and cinnamon. Oh man, I haven't really melted this much because I've been so busy with other smells. This is one of my loves. This is right up there with Cozy Fireside, and this is always available in the fall winter catalog, and I always club it every fall winter, or when spring summer comes around, because I'm terrified that they're going to pull it, and it's such a classic, and I would cry. And when I couldn't get Cozy Fireside, this was my consolation prize. So this is just solid warmth and hugginess. I mean, what do you say? If you love clove, there's a little bit of cinnamon, but it's just warmth. It's just love in a bar full of spice. That's great. Okay, then another day, because this is the time of year when I get my strong craving for, I wanted the cinnamon bear. It's like spice, spice, spice when January hits. Now, I did my melting basket all fresh and clean and vanilla, But this sort of palate cleanser week between Christmas and New Year's, I was doing all the spices. Cinnamon bear is so good, you guys. It's different than clove and cinnamon. If I have to choose one, clove and cinnamon I would melt more of the year, but January I gotta have this just straight up beautiful cinnamon. I find it classy and classic. A lot of other people say it's, nose hair burning and all this. Not for me. It's just happy. And it's soothing, which I know is another thing that's weird. I think this is probably just me. I find the scent of cinnamon settling and calming in the winter, and I love it. So on the same day, I was getting through some cozy chai, and I did this in my bedroom and kind of mixed it in different warmers around with, not mixed one-to-one, but just alternate warmers with the regular cinnamon bear, which is just cinnamon. And this is in my club. This is the most beautiful smell. It's almost like gingerbread spices with a little bit of a creaminess and caramel. It is gorgeous. One of my favorite scents from Scentsy of all time for a long time. And they're making more and more wonderful smells. So I used to say that it was just Cozy Fireside and Cozy Chai. That was it. That was like my holy grail. Those were the two. Now I've got a few. Sweet Orange and Evergreen is up there. Apple Butter Frosting is up there, where those are my ride or dies, and the pack's getting a little larger. Speaking of Apple Butter Frosting, I had to put some of this in. I think I did a little bit here and a little bit there on different days. I might have put it in when I had the Morning Cup of Christmas too. This is such a great bar, you guys. You hear me talk about it all the time. If you miss this, you can try the toasted apple butter that's in our current Bring Back My Bar. They are different scents. This has sweetness, super, super sweet intensity that the toasted apple butter does not have. The only bar in our Bring Back My Bar that has this kind of intensity is amaretto. Now, I sent the clam of amaretto to my mother because I think, unless it's too strong, she is going to love that. But I do want to tell you I've melted amaretto again, besides just my very first, do it for the specific BBMB reviews. It's beautiful. It is really, really classy, classic, straightforward almond amaretto. It doesn't lean too gourmand, it doesn't lean too clean, and it definitely doesn't lean cherry for me. It's very, very excellent, and if you like your almond scents, please pay attention to that before it's gone. But anyway, back to apple butter frosting. That kind of intensity doesn't show up very often, and almond and this specific bar are about the only types of oil combos that give you that. It's so good. But the apple butter frosting with the spices and the buttercream lasts a lot longer than amaretto, which will be very powerful for a few hours, and by this afternoon I'll probably have to take it out of the warmer, but it's so good while it's in. Who cares? Okay, another thing that I was doing was one of my favorite scents that I've saved from the Cozy collection in my club for years, and that is Cozy Spice. So this is the kind of bar, I wish they would put this in the spice category in the catalog, because if you don't like cinnamon bear and you do not like clove and cinnamon, a lot of people would like this. It's even softer than Cozy Chai. This is nutmeg forward, beautiful spice with the creaminess. I always say it's almost like a spiced tea that has milk added. It is so good, you guys. And many, many people that have this from back in the day will say that they like it when they can't handle the others. Great smell. And then I got out a little bit of my gingerbread buttercream stash. This is a gorgeous scent. It is performing somewhat better for me than it did last year when it was our Scentspirations. I'm very glad that I stocked up on it. I'm not crying that it's not in my club. It is sweeter. So you definitely get a sweet buttercream, and then you get the spices more on the back end. And for me, like I told you a couple weeks ago, I'm almost out of gingerbread hugs. If I had to choose between the two, I'll take gingerbread hugs over this any day, but this is excellent, and it's a little more bakery, and I enjoyed that very much with Cozy Spice. So then, one more combination of things that I was doing. Vanilla Cinnamon Maple. I call this my basement scent. This is in my club. I am kind of getting too much of a stack of it, so I need to melt a few, and it's one of those where maybe by next fall I would reevaluate, and I don't know if I will continue to carry this as my club grows with other things that are similar, but I did pull out Maple Vanilla Glaze from my club when I did an edit recently, because that one is so in your face with the maple, and I love it, but I don't melt it very often. I melt this more, so I really shouldn't take it out, because this is a nice balance. It smells like the syrup that you make with butter for a popcorn ball to me. It's always what I smell. It's just happy, and it's cozy with a little bit of spice, a lot of maple, and a good amount of a creamy vanilla. Really, really good. Okay, then I did my whole bar of caramel praline cake, which, as I've said in whatever the last video was where I was talking about my favorite things from 2023. This was like at the tail end of that list because of performance issues, but the last bar I did of this was good, and it went for hours in my main space, and I liked it. I did use the whole bar, like 2 cubes here, 3 cubes there, 1 cube there, to saturate the space, but it worked. So I'm glad that I saved this. Now to compare this to the almond croissant and the king cake, this one has more layers of personality. It's not quite as much of a boomer. I don't think it'd be as good of a mixer. If you're looking for a mixer, that king cake I think is going to be amazing. So there's all of that, and then we have Cozy Kitchen, which you guys have heard me talk about over and over. I put this into my club. I'll get my first bar of it in January. But I just keep working on my brick because it is the creamiest, homiest oatmeal with a little bit of spice and caramel smell. And then I did some nutcracker sweet today with the amaretto, with the king cake, with the almond croissant. They're all over my house. This is very similar to those other things, just a little more Teddy Bees-ish. This has like a brown butter and a cake smell that leans almost toasty almond, but there are no nuts in it. It's very good. And then I did some vanilla suede in my bedroom. It's very strong in there. I think it's cured. I need to take it back down to the basement. It was almost too much. And you know what's weird is that even though this is vanilla, a little bit of spice and suede, it almost smelled kind of like jammy time. That was odd because I just done my sheets with my jammy time washer whiffs, and I'm like, I didn't put jammy time wax in the warmer. What's going on? And then last but not least, I cleaned out a Wild for Fall, which is about the only fresh thing I did this whole week. In the basement. This was a Harvest Trio a couple years ago. Really nice with trees and oranges, but still kind of fall winter fresh. So that is everything that I have been getting through. What are you guys ordering from Bring Back My Bar? What are you loving? What are you excited about? Hopefully I'll have time to do some more like secondary warms of some of the rest of them for next week. So this is Elizabeth with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. God bless. Happy New Year, you guys. Bye-bye.